I'm going to be speaking about school population increase and growth strategy in primary and secondary school. Now, this becomes a very important part for me, especially as we are looking at how can I increase the number of population in our schools. When we look at the population of students right now, some schools that have existed in the last 15 years, they are experiencing 15 to 20 years, they're experiencing a form of low inflow of people into the schools. While some schools that exist in the last 5 years are experiencing high inflow of students into the school. It's not far-fetched from the fact that the statistics have shown it that the school business is a generation business. I believe that everybody that is involved in school business, either primary or secondary or preschool, must understand this. The school needs to begin to transition because generations are involved. At a particular time, 4 generations are always alive. And currently right now, we have 5 generations right now. We have the baby boomers, we have the Generation X, we have the millennials, which we can also call Generation Y, and we have the Gen Z. And then we have the Generation Alpha. You see, 5 generations are alive. We have the baby boomers, maybe 1940s. Some are still very much around. And we have the Generation X. The Generation X came after. And all this generation, they have things that are peculiar to them. Generation Z are the ones that brought in mental health and, looking at social media, using social media to make decisions, using AI and a lot of things like that. Now, currently now, if you run a primary school, I'm so sure that your parents are in Generation Y or the millennials. That means that you're going to have parents between age 49 and possibly 25 or 24. Those are the parents that you are going to have. It's very, very difficult for you to have a parent except that person is a grandmother. It's difficult for you to have a parent in their 60s that have children in primary school. Very rare case. You can have maybe 1 or 2, but it's always very rare. And when we talk about population, you have to understand it is generation based, it's generation specific. This is why I always talk about understanding generations, understanding their flair, their influence, what they want, and a lot of things like that. It's very key and important to understand this. You see, schools that operated 20 years ago that are now looking for number, the real problem is the fact that the school owner does not have what it takes to connect to the younger generation who are independent. They have the things by their own. They don't want to really listen to advice from older people. They want someone that is younger. And that's why I always advise your admission officer, your administrator has to be a younger person. There is a strong affinity that wants you to make administrator or people in charge of enrollment, you want to make them someone maybe not too far from your age. That is, if you are running a 20-year-old school or you are running a 25 or 30-year-old school, look at this practice and begin to work on it, please. If you have someone that is quite too old, it will be difficult for that person to connect with the generation of the parent that you need to bring on board. Oh, yes. Go and look at it very well. This is one of the foundational problems of schools that have stayed longer than they are trying to find their feet right now. It looks as if they are struggling with getting parents. It looks as if they're getting people to come to their preschool, especially the preschool. Bulk of the parent age of preschool students, when I say preschool, please, I'm talking about playgroup, I'm talking about kindergarten, nursery, bulk of the parents that are in this age group, They are possibly in their 20s. Oh, yes, and early 30s. I'm telling you, some people that are 40, 41, 43, 40, 44, they now have children in primary school. They don't really have children in, in the preschool. And so when we begin to look at these dynamics, it is very important for every school to pay attention to this. It's a generational term. It's a generational pattern first. So you have to know what are the things that appeals to the generation of the parents in my school. Oh, yes. What are the things that appeals to them? Because they are the one that makes the decision on behalf of the children. Before a child comes into your school, a parent must see something that will make them want to bring their children. So when we talk about growth strategy in primary school, it's quite different compared to that in secondary school. And it's quite different compared to that in the preschool. And I believe that is the reason why I'm doing this course. So you have to begin to think about it. How can I position myself? How can I understand the people that I want to bring on board? I think that majority of schools that are trying to increase their population have not gotten to the point where they ask, who are our ideal parents? Who are the people that we are trying to get? And what are their characteristics? What moves them? What are their interests? What are they looking for in a school? What are the things that we need to put in place to be able to attract them? You need to understand, if you are at the end of affairs, if you are the head of school, you are the proprietor, and you are of age, a lot of things are going to be happening that really will affect and will not let you to be able to see this thing I'm saying, but I'm bringing it to your notice right now. Maybe we need to bring our children on board. Maybe we need to employ somebody that is younger in order to be able to understand and to be able to give us what really will bring people to us. Oh, yes. And so that's why, I keep talking about this. Okay, so for the purpose of this module, allow me to be able to go into what we have for today. Today, I want to speak to you about school differentiation strategies. How can we differentiate ourselves as a school? And let me say this, nobody joined your school because of your similarity with another school. No, 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 no. If people join your school because you are equal to another school, it will affect your pricing. It will affect how you collect money, how you collect your fee, what you charge. Because if people join your school because of similarity, they will play down on your value. You must get to the point where you differentiate yourself, because your differentiation is going to really help and is going to give you a sincere and honest, peace, especially when dealing with parents. When you are dealing with parents, there are so many things that are involved. There are so many things, I can tell you that. And for you to be able to get this thing done, you must understand these things very, very well. So where we start strategy from is, how are we different from other people? And is our difference, is it a selling point? You must come to terms with that. These are some of the conversations that we must have at the leadership level of the school. Oh, yes. At the leadership level of the school, we must be able to come to terms with that. Every time I'm privileged to speak to the leadership team of a school, especially about population increase, I'm so blown away. Why? Because when I begin to ask for differentiation, a lot of leaders keep saying the things that I hear from every other school. Oh, our teaching performance. I said, is there anything like that? How will you show a parent that is still deciding to join your school that your teaching is okay? Is there a school that you know that does not teach? There is none. Teaching is everywhere. And it is very important for you to understand this. Differentiation. I get talks like, oh, our curriculum. How is your curriculum different? Oh, how is the curriculum different? You know, these are some very important and critical questions that we have to ask. How are we different from other people? And is our different a selling point? Because it is not enough for you to be different from another school. Your difference, is it sellable? Can people see your difference and decide to join you? That's even the biggest part of your differentiation. You see, you can differentiate yourself as a school with many things. You can differentiate yourself with the color of your school. Oh, yes, the logo of your school, the color. You can change your color. Oh, yes, very, very true. You can differentiate yourself with, your school uniform. But all these things, when you look at it, are they really sellable? And that is the reason for this slide. So where we start differentiation strategies from is from reliability and benefits. What are the things that show us that you are reliable as a school? If a friend tells me about you, can I get to your school and I meet what the friend told me about? You know, there are some schools that when you are talking about them, when you get there, you see everything that you talk about. Oh, when you get there, the way they are going to receive you is going to be out of this world. And truth be told, when you show up, you discover that the reception is also very good. And that is what is about. That is what reliability is about. In other words, are you reliable? Can I bank on you? You see, let me tell you, this makes every form of operation and action that we do in our school, it makes it that we must make sure that we are consistent with it. Because let me tell you something about reliability. If you are not reliable as a school, parents will not leave because there are other things that makes parents stay apart from what you do. Oh, yes, parents will not leave, but they will not bring other people. If you want to increase your population, you have to drive parent referrals. You have to drive it. It is very important for you to do. And if you want to drive parent referrals, in other words, parent talking to other parents to join the school, you must make sure that you are reliable. To be reliable means that there is something we promise and we are doing it. To be reliable means that we want excellence, we want excellent touch, and we always get it. To be reliable means that we promise something and we do it. To be reliable means that there are certain values that we have defined and we stick with it. This is very, very important, very key. So reliability is one of the differentiation strategy that you are going to have as a school. Don't joke with how reliable you are. If we joke with it, it's going to really affect you because it makes, you see, today we did well. Tomorrow, parents are complaining. Next tomorrow, and after the complaint, nobody said anything. Next tomorrow, we just, and the problem is that when a school is run based on emotion more than system, oh, yes. I created a course called Kickstart Your School, Your 21st Century School, kickstarting for people that wants to start a school, people that wants to start a secondary school, people that wants to start branches. And one of the things I said there is that an important skill that you must have as a school owner or someone that wants to kickstart is emotion skills. You must prioritize system over emotions because every time you allow your emotion to lead how you run the school, you are not going to be reliable. Oh, yes, you're not going to be reliable. I was forced to talk to a school leader one day, and I told the person, I said, please, ma'am, because we have candidates. And immediately, without any proof, without anything, the woman just looked at one and said, I think that's the candidate. I said, no, it can't work that way. By the time the person brought the CV, he's not even qualified. I said, no, don't run your school based on emotions. There's a place of instinct. I get that. There's a place of intuition. I understand that perfectly. But it doesn't work every time. System is what works every time. You must subject your emotion to system. If you allow emotion to take over your systems, I tell you the truth, you are not going to be reliable and it will affect your population. It will affect your growth. I said this because, some people, they just increase salary at at random. You just look at someone and said, I think it's time to increase your salary. That's emotion. That's emotion. It doesn't neglect the fact that the person, what the person did that makes you do that, doesn't neglect the fact that the person may stop doing it. Immediately you increase the salary. And then you can't drop the salary again. School reliability is a differentiation strategy. You see, it's one of the things that makes me say that there are many schools, but there are few schools. It's just the irony. I'm telling you, there are many schools, but there are few schools. And a differentiation part is this one that I'm talking about. School reliability and the benefits. What are the benefits of joining your school? What are the benefits of joining your school? And please don't tell me that we teach children. Anything that can happen in other school cannot be a benefit. Oh, yes. There are certain things that I know that does not happen in many schools. Oh, yes. And really, so many times I don't cap it. I don't put it. There are so many things that I know that can happen in your school that doesn't happen in other schools. Oh, very important. Technology development. Oh, yes. I'm not talking about your facility. I'm not talking about technology facility. I'm talking about the student's ability to use technology. The student's ability. Oh, yes. I was surprised. I met a boy in GSS2 class who could use quizzes. I was trying to just, bamboozle him. I said, have you heard about Kahoot? Have you heard about quizzes? Who could use quiz to be able to create things, to be able to create? I was shocked. I said, you are possibly one out of many, out of 100,000 GS2 students that can use this thing. The boy can make use of a lot of, tools. I said, that's a very good one. Who taught you? He said, in our school. I'm telling you, benefits. Technology development. The children in the school can use technology. It's not that they are surfing internet. It's not that they are on Facebook and Instagram. They can use technology to do things. It's not common everywhere. It is not. Coach Wale, are you sure? I am very sure of what I'm saying. It's not common everywhere. Gone are the days when students finish school and then the next thing is they want to go to computer class to go and learn computer. It's still happening right now. There is a child from GSS1 to SS3. By the time he's done, they said they are taking him to computer class to go and study cybersecurity or to go and study about how to use Microsoft Word. So what was the ICT that he was doing from GSS1 to SS3? What was it about? You see, don't go there. It is what some schools are using to differentiate themselves. I'm telling you. And the earlier you understand this, the better. School benefits. Let me give one more benefit before I go. So school benefit, technology development. Oh, yes. You have to begin to think about it. It's going to be hard. But let me tell you something. If it's easy to be done, plenty people will do it. And if plenty people are doing it, just understand it's no longer a differentiation strategy for you. That means you cannot use that to be able to get, to be able to do a lot of things. Another benefit that differentiates is parent involvement. Parent involvement. Oh God. I'm telling you, if you expect me to talk about your building, if you expect me to talk about, I'm not really going to talk about that. I'm a 21st century school consultant, and I know this thing very well. I'm not going to talk about the physical things that you have in your school. I'm not going to talk about because we have school bus. Do you know how many schools around you that have school bus? That's not a differentiation strategy. As a matter of fact, when other schools see that is what is bringing number, they go and buy it too. Differentiation are the things that you don't get, the path to it is very hard. And yes, I like that. Parent involvement. Oh, how do you do it? How do you motivate your parents that they do things for you? They work willingly for you. They help you to do things. Oh, yes, it's involvement. Any practice or any method that you can use to make your parents also feel part of the system, to ensure that you bring them in. That's why some schools are redefining, they are revamping their parent strategy, because it's a major differentiation strategy. Parent strategy, how to make parents do three things. Number one, to contribute. Number two, to cooperate. And number three, to be committed. Those three C's are what you need from parents before the school fees. Any school that achieve these three things in parents cannot have problem with school fees. By the way, it's not everybody that have problem with parents paying school fees. Some schools have 90% of their parents pay school fees before resumption. Oh yes. And the reason is because they've been able to successfully achieve these three things: commitment from parents, contribution from parents, and cooperation. Very important. Everything you do to achieve this will make you different, because you are going to have parents who will willingly share your flyer, share your activity on their status, and they say, where is this? And before you know it, the next thing I want to talk about, the branding. Branding. Now, please let me make you understand. Branding is not the color of your school. It is not the logo of your school, even though those things represent your brand, but they are just representation. You know, there's no country without flag. Have you thought about it? But the presence of the flag does not mean the country is good. It doesn't mean the country is developing. Representation does not make brand. It is brand that makes meaning to the representation. A lot of people just feel, once I have a logo, once I have my color, once I have this, I'm doing branding. No, that's not true. Branding is perception. What do you mean? When your school name pop up, what does it mean? What does it tell us? That's branding. That's it. What does it tell? What is it telling me? Like, oh, this person, this is this school. So why? Because, you know, sometimes when we talk about school branding, attention is always on something completely different, and it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be. We have to put a lot in the perception before the representation. You must put a lot into the perception. In other words, what comes to the mind of parents when they talk about us? What comes to the mind of parents when something happens? Branding, very important. It's a differentiation strategy. Oh, in that school, oh my God, you know, they have a touch of excellence. Everything they want to do, you just find out that the way they do it. And before you know it, we are sucking people in. Because people, the generation of parents that are coming into schools right now, they are people that really, they are already having touch of excellence. Oh yes, they're already having touch of excellence. They go to eatery, they go to their religious centers. By the way, the religious centers are making use of expensive places, events, cinemas. That's where they are using. And they are putting the children in that place. And then they come to your school. And all you have in your school is one window and a block and a room that has not been plastered. The floor has not been made. And then you have one whiteboard that is already I'm telling you the truth, and you feel, oh, we don't have number. Why aren't we having number? You have to consider that. You have to look at the generation of people that I'm trying to attract. Where do they go? What is their lifestyle like? You see, parents that use cars that have AC, they have AC at home, they have everything. They don't want their children to be sweating by 12 p.m. in your class. Oh, Uchwali, where do we get money to be able to do all these things? Well, it depends on what you want to achieve. You can start from somewhere. Oh, yes, you can start. You begin to start from somewhere. You know, and the reason why I'm saying this is because, you know, branding is perception. It is perception. If you want to be different from every other person, you have to take up this as a challenge. You have to understand that the landscape of schools is changing. You cannot run your school on your terms, because the parent that you are looking for, their lifestyle, that's it. The people that we call the middle class of those Gen Z, you know, a lot of them want convenience. So even when the school is not far from where they are, they will still like the fact that there's a school bus or something that comes around, or there's a system that helps. And if that is not happening, if you don't have a school bus, make sure you compensate it with something else, that they bring the children to school, and the children always want to go to the school. You see, this is very, very important when we talk about branding. Very key. The next thing that differentiates the school is parent recognition and desire. You must make sure that your school is a desire for parents. Oh, yes. You differentiate yourself that way. Your school becomes a desire for parents. Your school is a place where parents want to recognize with, and they will always want to come. Oh, yes. If you think that does not matter, you see, ask one or two parents when you get to your location or a place where you are not known. Ask some parents, which school do you enroll your children? And you will be shocked. When they want to talk about it, you see their disposition, you see their attitude. There's a level of association that comes to that. When you create something that parents want to recognize with, you create something that parents want to say, oh, just come and check out my school. Parent recognition, parent desire is a differentiation strategy. As you are trying to work on how are you different from everybody, just understand this. How do you make your school a place where parents can recognize with anywhere they go? They say, I have my two children in so school. Oh, I've been hearing about that school. I've been hearing about that school. Tell me more about them. You see, that is how we grow. That is why we move. That is how the school grow. So when you sit down and you are thinking about the differentiation, or how you are different from everybody, it's very, very important to pay attention to, the differentiation strategy. Very key. In other words, how are we different from everyone? And this is what I'm sharing with you. There are many things that you are going to be thinking about to say, oh God, I want to know, is there anything that makes us different from a school? I had a school that asked me that question one time and told me that, there's a school at the junction. That's the school that is not allowing us to grow. I said, that's not true. Oh, actually, yes. He said the school is big. The school has, big building, and then we are not growing. I said, that is not true. You are intimidated by the size of the school. It doesn't mean that your own parents can't come. I said, for example, I want to ask you some very important question. How reliable, the people you have currently, how reliable are you? What are the promises that you have given? And up till now, have you done it? The promises that you say you are going to do certain things in second term. Have you done everything? What are the benefits? What are the things that you know that school, because of their size, they can't do it, but you can do it? Do you have etiquette class? And in your etiquette class, is there practical sessions? Do you use thematic learning system? I said, oh yes. Do you train your children on digital tools, or you just train in the general ICT? If ICT is going on there and ICT is going on in your school, phonics is going on there, phonics is going on in your school. If it's the same, so what's the difference point? The difference point is that building of that school. But the tools that you are showing your children, the things that you are, the way you involve parents, the parents that you have, the way you involve them. Oh my God. I said, let's talk about your brand. Let's talk about your brand. So it's not the size. I said, how many parents want to recognize with you? How many parents? And why? Because of you as a person. Many times I tell school owners, if you want to create a good brand for your school, it's not first about the building or the beauty of it. It's first about you. You are the first brand of the school. Whoever is the face of the school is the first brand of the school. If people don't want to associate with you, they can't associate with your school. It's very important. I said, so because of your school, you won't dress anyhow. You won't. I'm telling you the truth. You will not. You are not supposed to dress. You are not permitted to dress anyhow. You are not permitted to dress anyhow. No. This is very important. So I said, people will recognize with you. People will recognize with your brand, with your school, when even you as a person. And it becomes the desire of the parent. See, let me tell you, when parents want to recognize with your school and they desire to be in your school, your population will grow. Your population will grow. It's very important. So, and when we talk about branding, we're talking about personal touch. Oh, yes, because someone is going to ask, so how do I improve my brand? Your personal touch in your school. You see, let me tell you, if you go to 6 schools, I promise you, the 5 out of those 6, will have the signature of the school owner or whoever is in charge in that school. 5 out of the 6 schools. And when you see a school that is not consistent with what they represent, is because the people that are the aim of affairs are not consistent. Today is the principal that is in charge. Tomorrow, the proprietor decide to take charge. Why? You can't remove personal touch from a school. If the person in charge does not like excellence, does not value excellence, if the person does not value excellence, he only values academics, you are going to have a school that is running on academics. That's what you are going to have. But if you see someone that really values excellence and do everything, I'm telling you, you're going to really have a very fantastic person. You're going to really have a very fantastic school. It's personal touch. And the earlier you begin to understand this, the better. Do I value excellence? How do I show people? How do I let people know how do I do this? So you have to, but if you want to improve the brand of your school, you have to improve your own personal touch. Oh, yes. If you're an excellent person, you will have an excellent school. If you are a person of integrity, you have a school of integrity. Oh, yes. I've seen school owner tell parents to go because the mother is trying to inflate the money for the father. And then the mother will come around and say, this is the amount I want you to send to the man. But because the school owner does not value all those things, the school owner said, we can't do it. I will take my children. Please take them now and go. And the parent goes and the school owner is okay. You know why? Personal touch. The second thing about improving branding is your unique promotions. Your unique promotions. Yes. Actually, what do you mean by unique promotions? The way you promote your school, is it a general one? Everybody is pasting poster and doing banner. Is that what you are doing? No, it doesn't work that way. You see, you will not be able to differentiate yourself that way. That's just as simple as I can put it. You will not be able to, promote yourself that way. So you must have unique promotions. Oh, yes. What are the unique promotions that I can have as, as a school to be able to, showcase my brand and to be able to be different from every other person in my location? Very fantastic. Very fantastic. Number one, can you promote your school via the digital means? Oh, yes. You have 2 or 3 of your parents that are willing to talk about your school. So instead of talking about the characteristics and the features in your school, you are not even talking about the benefits. You have parents talking about, oh, when I brought my child to this school, this is what happened. But in the space of one session, I think I'm really very happy. This is the best decision that I've made ever. That's a unique promotion, that you have a parent speaking about your school and you cover it, you do a video, and the next thing you sponsor the video, you get the video on every platform, tell the teachers to post it on their status, and then so you are going to have people saying, oh, which school is this? I'm telling you, unique promotions. You do a form of a flyer that talks about the solution, the achievement that you have made so far. When the students are going for excursion, you let them know, oh, our students are going for excursion. When they come back, maybe they got an award. You put it out there. Unique promotions. And then someone is asking, how come you people don't do flyer? Well, because we understand that, whatever we want to say to you, maybe the flyer cannot take it. That's the truth. So the promotion has to be unique. Some of these things are things that I do when I spend time with the leadership team. By the way, I would like to spend time with your leadership team to be able to give a very detailed point where everybody knows what to do, especially when it comes to school marketing and differentiation strategy. The last thing I want to share is, how do you make parents recognize with you and they desire you? Wide penetration. Oh my God. Oh, yes. You have to penetrate your location in you see, when your name is ringing in everywhere, the parents want to recognize, oh, that's the school that my son is. Oh, okay, what are the things? I'm telling you. And the more they recognize with you, the more they desire. How does that happen? Wide penetration. Get into as many people, as the people are coming in, let them also be the one that will propagate the school, that will move the school to be able to get to a very fantastic place. Okay, so as we talk about it, begin to look at how you can be different from every other school around you. Don't use the physical means. Another differentiation strategy is actually your relationship strategy. In fact, I so much value relationship strategy. I created a whole module on relationship strategy. I call it relationship marketing. Oh, yes. You can copy everything about me. You can copy my relationship. The quality of relationship that I have in my school, it can't be copied. It cannot. Oh, we are going to do well academically, we are going to do well in activities, but the relationship, the quality of that relationship, and if you ask me, is part of personal touch. If a school owner or anybody in charge of the school does not have a touch of relationship, there's going to be problem. In fact, massive problem. So it's very important and very critical to be able to do. All right, we've come to the end of this, and I want to appreciate everybody that